Okay, hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We've got some more action here in the Chinese regional qualifiers for TI6. I'm Odie Pixel, I'm here with Blaze Castings, Wings vs Vici Gaming. We were looking forward to some crazy stuff, and, well, straight off the bat, first pick Drow.
First pick Drow Wisp. Like,
yes,
it's not even just Drow. Like, this is insane. Going for the Wisp here. I have seen it in a couple of drafts before to limited effect. It's very interesting because you've got this kind of global presence. You've got a lot of attack speed and effective HP that the Wisp can provide through his tether and heals. But really, I generally prefer to pick something else along with the Drow. And honestly, I don't like to see Drow in the first phase. So Wings have to have a very clear-cut strategy. I mean, are we going to see the Warlock again? I don't know.
Yeah, it was you who cast that game, didn't you? So you and Draskell got to the pleasure, or was it Lyrical?
It was actually just preceded Draskell and I's cast, so I think Lyrical was on it. But Ice did pick up the Warlock along with like Clock and
apparently it was like 8-0-15 or so. So it was something ridiculous with the Warlock as well.
Insanely effective, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, as you said, first pick in the Drow. I feel like Wings is definitely a team that's done this before. Like I've seen Wings drafts, so they pick the heroes first. That you're like, wow, no one's ever going to ban that. So they're doing it for the mind games here. It's got to be the only reason. You know, you pick a Drow first, and you draft it against. It probably throws you off a little bit because you're not used to it. It's something a little bit different, and it will be interesting to see what Wings do follow it up with. Already, VG Gaming, Vengeful Spirit, and also grabbing themselves the Tide Enter. We have seen it was against Vici earlier, wasn't it? The Tide was being banned out against them, so I guess a hero that if they want to play, they got to secure it earlier.
Yeah, they definitely have to secure it earlier. ROTK is a very big fan of this hero, very big proponent of aggressive initiation, and also he tends to overextend a little bit, so the extra padding that he gets from the Kraken Shell and Anchor Smash really will help him out here. It's also really hard to go for agi carries against Venge Tide. You got the negative Venge Sword, you got the Anchor Smash. It's really good at limiting the amount of damage somebody that's stat dependent can do. So here's like Terror Blade, Morphling, whatever, are going to be limited damage output, and Drow's no exception to that. Even if she's got her marksmanship on, if you've got at least one of those debuffs on her, she's still going to be doing significantly less damage.
It's going to be interesting. I kind of have it coming back to me in my head that Wings have ran Drow alongside something like a Vena. You know, they're the kind of team that will do stuff like that. You know, just have this crazy mishmash of heroes that's going to be very, very unexpected.
Interesting. So in both the Star Ladder Chinese qualifier as well as DPL, they have run this Wisp Drow before, and they kind of get like heroes like Wind Ranger to go.
Oh, okay.
Puck is really good because he's both a ranged hero, but one that presents a lot of teamfight control, which is a characteristic that most ranged heroes don't provide. I would say like Phoenix and Puck are pretty much the two.
Yeah, Puck would be nice
ones.
Already. Yeah. Tide and Vengeful Spirit, not a lot they can do really to control the Puck.
10 seconds.
So they use the Puck as an offlaner in that situation, and that could definitely work out for them. Other than that, I mean, they've run Queen of Pain with it. They've run the Wind Ranger with it. Obviously, really good with the Focus Fire there. So, still working on their secondary bands. I think the Winter Wyvern's quite appropriate. The Cold Embrace, if you're putting out that much physical damage, is going to be really important. And then, the same thing with the Winter's Curse. With a lot of damage output, and you might be turning that on the Wisp himself. It's kind of that thing. You used to see a lot of like Wisp Tiny get counteracted by the Wyvern, because the Tiny will essentially commit fratricide on his brother there, the Wisp, and it will really break down the kind of dynamic between the two. But yeah, I'm actually interested to see what Vici Gaming try to do to counteract this. They want the app close, they want to be able to really get up in the Drow's face, and they want to be building up some tankiness as well.
It's a bit of a targeted ban, the Kunkka ban?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at it myself, to be honest, but at the same time, it's a kind of tanky controller that can still do good damage and get involved. As well, Kunkka's Roam is still one of the most underrated mechanics in Dota 2, and it can make team fights really difficult.
I mean, is it 50% of the damage
50%
gets held back?
That you get like 13
and
seconds.
It can't kill you. If you get out of the fight, it's non-fatal. So absolutely, yeah. And I think that obviously as well, the interaction with IO, the fact that suddenly IO relocate saves are going to be counteracted by next marks. You know, you can bring back the hero and save them. Make sure you kill.
I don't think Wings are going to be playing that style very much. Like they're not going to be split pushing and then bailing out.
Bailing out with the other,
like you would with a Tiny, because Drow is much more forward in her intentions. She's definitely going to.
So it's more about just the buffing up.
Yeah.
For the. I mean, I wonder, did they pick up some kind of healer? They've already banned out, you know, the Dazzle The one themselves. Witch Doctor is still there.
They did run Oracle the last time that they picked this up. But
this is the same draft I just seen you brought up. They did this exactly.
Yeah.
What? So what else are they missing? What? Puck and Oracle.
Puck and then Oracle.
That could totally happen this game. They could literally go for a copy, cut and copy of that game. Did they win that game?
Oh yeah.
They did not win that game.
Really? Okay. Going for a exact strat that seems to have failed against what most people would consider a lesser team in newbee.young. I kind of took it for granted, but no, in this Dota 2 professional league match that took place a week ago, they actually went 36 minutes and lost to a Lifestealer Alchemist lineup. Interesting.
I mean, Lifestealer Alchemist are actually two heroes that are still in the pool here. So it'll be interesting if Vici will see that themselves of a way of dealing with this kind of play. It's obviously been tried and tested before. Vici Gaming going right down into the reserve time here. They'll pick up a Disruptor, so some kind of control against an IO lineup, and as you said, maybe this time just to hold back an offensive movement in if the IO looks to bring anyone forward.
Curious which of the two Burning plays, because we have seen most recently a couple of games from Burning on Disruptor, but he's also, at least in previous tournaments, played a lot of Venge as well. So we'll see which one he brings his specialization to, and HYM will obviously be able to kind of balance the farm and try to get the most out of the other hero.
Yeah.
So.
I think for that, from what I've seen, I'd rather see him on the Disruptor. I guess, in the past he's got that history of Venge. Even like back in the days when he was obviously on the core role, he'd be the kind of guy to play a Venge carry as well. So, but yeah, Burning Disruptor would be nice. DK as the frontliner, and again another hero that I guess what Aya hooks up to, and suddenly you got an insane amount of push at the moment from Wings Gaming, haven't you?
Well, insanely, but how do you lane it? Do you actually run an off-lane Wind Ranger? How long is it?
I guess it is.
That?
It could be a support Wind Ranger.
Okay.
Was it not? No, yeah, it was middle Wind Ranger before when they ran it.
Yeah.
But I guess, I mean, what would you prefer to see? Would you prefer the offlane Wind Ranger or the support Wind Ranger? Because for me, they feel like they're at similar tiers of kind of how good it actually is.
They're both suboptimal. I mean, for sure. I definitely love the mid Wind Ranger and safe lane Drow, but they wanted to go with this DK pick, and this guy can get right up in there. But I don't know, like. I almost want to see like a dual offlane, like Wisp DK in the offlane.
Yeah, I was going to say DK offlane may even be at this point, this stage of the meta, even a better answer than the Wind Ranger offlane.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I mean, it could work, but like it's not the same as a Bristle. Like you don't spam your spells, you don't really generate that much traction from your effective HP.
They might just try and, obviously if it's Wind Ranger DK lane, they'll probably just try and get the solo lane against the Tide Hunter, do you think? They're looking for a 1v1 matchup against the Tide, then looking for some kind of tri lane to go against Vici Gaming's tri lane. Is it? Do you think that
could work? I mean, it definitely could. I think there's more risk involved because Venge Disruptor is actually pretty tough to go against. You make one mistake and they'll punish your positioning pretty hard. They will ban out the Warlock instead of the Oracle. I think those would be the two key bans that Vici Gaming could look to for their final. But yeah, I still feel like the Wings definitely have practiced this. They've definitely
this is Wings stuff.
Found merit in it to be picking it up once again, but I think that Vici Gaming have a pretty good response. The Lycan is really good at getting on top of the Drow Ranger with the Shapeshift. You gussed him back, and a fraction of a second later he's right on top of you anyways. The Tide Hunter is going to be... The damage block is one of the things that I look for to counteract a Drow lineup, and Kraken Shell obviously is built into the hero. So damage block is going to be really good, especially against Wind Ranger. You'll probably see a Poor Man's Shield on the Lycan. It sounds weird, but it actually is going to be really good here. And then they'll just kind of look for this mid game where the tanker counter pushes and maybe even progresses towards the laser to, or sorry, the Aghanims to make that laser that much more potent.
Oh, look at this! Chen as the final pickup. I mean, this. As you said, we're going to be interested to see how this is lined up.
Yeah, and
who's going to play where?
Definitely a familiar pick for Ice. Looks like the API is down, so I can't look up the actual win rate, but he used to play it quite a bit.
Yeah,
I don't think he's
this
played
rings a bell,
that recently, but Ice Chen not too bad at all. And of course the Hand of God synergy with the tether. Somebody's going to survive for quite a long time, but you're picking up those Ninja Scrapes to try to keep pushing, and Tinker, if he gets strong enough, is just going to still be able to repel you with the March. And I don't feel like they have a clear way of jumping the Tinker other than a Blink DK. So I feel like you have to prioritize DK's farm, and as such that means it's going to make the Wind Ranger's life a little bit harder.
It's going to be interesting.
And Blink, by the way, did pick up the... I don't want to forget the overlay here, but he did pick up the DK, so he's going to be taking it mid, and Assuming there's no swaps, that is going to also mean that
Okay.
Faith Beyond will take the offlane Wind Ranger, hopefully with some help.
I mean, in that sense, are they looking to try and get the 1v1 matchup, or are they fine with Wind Ranger going against the tri-lane of Vici?
I mean, it's hard to say. I really would not want to be the Wind Ranger in this position. The Disruptor Avenge just really will zone you out, and it's going to be slow rolling for you. I guess the fact is the Precision Ore from the Drow will make up for your lack of network that you start with.
So you've got a better chance against CS.
As long as you get towards Aghanim Scepter. I think that's the only item you really need this game is Axe. And then you're going to get the full benefit of the Drow Ranger, and whoever has farm will be able to increase the Wind Ranger's damage. So, yeah, all in all, I can see this working as a pretty good offlaner, but I still think that Vici Gaming have a really solid response.
Looks like just going to win a bit of pinging coming out, actually. Tinker's saying I want a ward here, and maybe the Tower was saying I want a ward in the jungle, so they can see what kind of action Wings are getting up to. But I mean, kind of look at the drafts as a whole. By the sounds of it, you do prefer the kind of the safety of Vici's lineup.
I feel like it's really easy to execute.
Yeah.
I feel like Wings have the desire to push very aggressively, and let's say 1 or 2 pushes get halted by a really good team fight from Vici. Where do Wings go from there? They don't have a backup plan. Their plan is to kill towers and kill heroes. And if they're not just doing that, every 5 to 10 minutes, they're not progressing in this game, and eventually it's just going to get out of their hands.
I'm just going to have a look actually, see where the two teams are standing at the moment in this qualifiers. See who's got the edge. So at the moment, Wings 3 for 1.
Yep.
So pretty good score for these guys. Vici 2 for 1.
And then with that most recent loss up against ig.v, that makes it them 2 for 2. So they do.
Okay. So yeah, that's not been added. You're right. Yeah.
Do need to make sure that they make up for it, because essentially they're tied with ig.v now, and then only slightly above cdec gaming. So in general, this qualifier, I mean, we're not even half done with it yet.
No. Still
it is definitely very important that Vici build up themselves into a position where they're able to stay in this top 5. Wings have a theoretical chance to dethrone IG. I don't think IG are in any way unbeatable. So I think if Wings are hungry for that first spot in the group stage, then they're gonna really depend on dropping as few games, pretty much no games, in order to take it. I mean, that sounds obvious, but essentially it comes down to the fact if Wings are okay just going through the playoffs and looking for the top there, they're not going to be pulling out too many new strats and stuff like that. I mean, new strats for Wings, I can't even imagine how variable that might be, but what I'm saying is they are in a comfortable position right now in terms of scoreline if they're not pressing for the first seed, but of course they're going to do their best and they're going to see what they can accomplish here, and they're going to have to be very, very active this game if they're going to be able to beat out VG before they just become too strong and too defensive.
I mean, absolutely. If this game goes late and CTY is just getting insane on the Tinker, they have got this Lycan as well. It's definitely going to get scary if Wings fall behind at the start for them. But as we said, Wings. Oh, looks like people pausing, unpausing. Looks like well, obviously not too sure what's being said in between the sides.
Yeah, but piece by piece we're getting a few more items picked up from each hero. So we do see the winner is going to start boots first, for example. The Precision Ore is already skilled up, so you're going to be looking at 57 damage on a Wind Ranger as boots first offlaner. If he doesn't have a good ward, I'm still thinking the Disruptor will have the better of him. It's going to be a bit rough. But Sylar, I'm just going to be confident to keep kind of farming pretty casually. And probably DK will be okay too.
Yeah.
But we see that he's going to be able to go for the bottle pretty quickly, and he's going for the Quelling Blade, which the base damage allows him to pretty much last hit anything, even against the Tinker. If he's not lasered, he's getting the last hits. And it might even just save Breathe Fire for whenever he's blinded. So I think the mid lane should go pretty good for Wings. The same thing with the safe lane, but that off lane could just go so disastrously if Beyond overextends.
And it's gonna be. I'm wondering as well if Vici gonna be able to get anything with his play. They have got the smoke on burning, so looks like they will after the pause smoke down into this bottom lane. Already Innocence, he's in place to drop the ward, and no one else is likely to be out there unless Ice or Shadow decides to come around. Blink actually looking to make a move with them as well, so maybe they are going to be prepared for for if VG want to try and go for a bit of a fight down here before the bell tolls.
Alright, so I guess we can go through some player intros since we do have some time on our hands. Starting for Wings here, the Drow Ranger is going to be played by Shadow, going for a pretty stats-intensive build with a double circlet. Could probably see as many as 3 Wraith Bands or true Bands and an Aquila on him here. Blink, of course, going to be playing the Dragonite in the solo mid-roll, going for the bottle rush outright. That's going to leave Beyond on that off-lane Wind Ranger, and going to have to be playing very cautiously in order to avoid giving up that first blood. Meantime, Ice, we'll see what he can do on the Chen in the jungle. Not the most common pick these days, but certainly has potential here. In the meantime, that Wisp Innocence is going to be running it, and he is going to be going for that bottle rush himself. So I don't think you give him the banner rune necessarily. You could, but he'll get the bottle very quickly. And then my question, do you have any idea where this Wisp is actually going to find himself? Like, is he actually going to be trying to zone a tide and support the Drow? I mean, obviously he can certainly help the DK.
I'd probably like to see him with the DK, yeah. I think, as you said, Drow can kind of hold the lane on her own, and if necessary, we'll have a Chen nearby, so it's unlikely that Tide's going to be playing too aggressively. And, DK in his matchup mid against the Tinker, yeah, you can still find CS with the Breathe Fire, but the laser's always going to be a little bit of an issue. And I guess with the Venge and Disruptor, 2 heroes that are liable to maybe look for some rotations onto the mid lane. But I think, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where the IO does go. So we keep getting people back, then other people are dropping. So hopefully this internet issue will resolve itself pretty shortly. But is this the last of the Chinese games today now?
Yeah,
it is.
This will be the last heat.
Yeah.
So I think the first one is a little bit further along than the other 2, but all the same. So of course we've got the disconnected captain here, RTK on the Tide Hunter. HYM is going to be running that Disruptor. Cool him out there. And he's going to be supporting that safe lane, of course, with the Lycan, played by Sylar. Actually, a pretty good pick in the past for him as well. Like, most people say Sylar and think Terrorblade, Morphling, things like that. But Lycan has actually been one of his more stronger picks as well. Beyond that, CTY going to be running on the Tinker mid lane, and that will leave Burning on the Venge, which I think was his most picked hero in the Manila Major Qualifier. But going back to an oldie and going for the Boots first, which I really do like on Venge. I think Boots Windlace before 10 minutes is a really good way to enable your kill potential.
Well, looks like we've got one of them back. Still just missing the final 2, and we'll be able to get something. I mean, do you not think there's any chance that VG put, this Venge Disruptor like a lane down on the bottom to go head to head with the Drow?
I think Drow will just move there, and it kind of becomes a nuisance for you. I feel like a really good advantage here is Venge and Disruptor can just pull. You already look at these 3 lanes and the cores as gankable heroes. You look at the Wind Ranger and say, she's not going to be able to do much as a solo offlane, and you're already inhibiting her farm. You don't really have that much incentive to go on the Drow, because really she's going to get about the same item progression towards the mid game. So all in all, I think yes, technically it's an option, but because you're already shutting down 1 of 3 cores that are all about equally valuable, I'd say go with the lane with the pull, and that's going to be the safe lane.
Okay, well, looks like we have got all the players back in the game, so hopefully we'll be able to get the G called in and get this show on the road. We do apologise for this pause. Obviously, issues that are liable to be happening here, and the Chinese qualifiers is of course the qualifiers that I've been playing on LAN, so not going to be quite as smooth as for those other regions where people are playing from their own locations. And unfortunately, I mean, I don't know about you, Blaze, but we can't read this language. How Lime?
You can take a guess. Effigies, aren't those the thing? People don't run enough effigies these days. Like half of them
they're not in English.
They're only big buildings.
I guess you can still look at them. What's this one? What's the CM with that cool hair? Anti-mage. Kind of with some kind of that's what that is.
That's definitely.
They've only got 2. They only got 2. They have. Only got 2 over on the side of VG.
Burning anti-mage. What? I would be sad if we never get to see another professional burning anti-mage game, you know? He's playing support now, he's playing it well, but...
Has he... They've never switched it around on this current lineup, have they? Like recently?
They've experimented,
Have they
but
experimented?
it was not good.
Okay, it didn't work out.
Not since Siler moved to the roster, I'll say that.
Okay.
So the VG Gaming, you know, they're going through open qualifiers. It's because they did switch out Siler into the roster after the lock, but since then Burning has not played core.
Who did they get rid of? Who did they get rid of?
Actually, it's like 3 letters. I actually didn't know the player very well.
It was a new player.
Yeah, younger in the scene. For sure.
Oh, okay. He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't like Silar or Bernie. It was. No. Oh, fair enough. Well, looks like we've still got a bit of silence. I'm gonna see what Howley May means. Google Translate. There we go.
Google Translate.
What is Howley May? Howley May means apparently Howley May. This is very useful translation. Let's try it. What does Howley May mean? Oh, How May How. It's not telling me what Howley May means. It's only telling me what How May How is. Oh, and someone's DCDN.
Yeah, we're having.
Oh my goodness. What's maybe if I search what May means. May means May. I mean that. Oh, the way that's because he thinks I'm. Okay, because it's detecting. He thinks I'm doing Indonesian. No, this is not. This is Chinese. No, this is May.
You're making some real progress here. You're cracking the code.
Yeah, translating is not.
You should do the interviews, honestly.
I should. Like, hang on. Let me just boot up the Google Translate. I'll start to put this in. I bet half these words are going to come up. They're using slang and stuff. No, that's... No, so he's back. Oh, gee!
We know that
one. Oh, yeah, we do. That's international, that one.
Definitely talking about a CIS mid.
Hey, there we go. We're back in. And we're going to see if each game can get anything done with this movement. They've got a smoke on burning. And here we have it. Let's see what they do.
We're going to see a wisp position of smoke break. If you do behind this tree line here, with the observer ward in place, you will be able to avoid any real confrontation. But it looks like they're actually going to be caught kind of in this juncture here, which could be a little bit dicier. I think that they're going to be able to connect with the Boots First Avenge's magic missile. It just depends on who on, as Innocence will be breaking the smoke first.
Oh, he can tether across.
They're going to find Det Drow, and he is going to be going down, I believe.
Let's see what the other
move speed, though, is going to help him out, but it puts Innocence in an even worse position. Gushing him will mean a kill as the rockets fly.
First blood here for VG, and more importantly, the way of CTY and his Tinker. So it's all successful. Maybe would have preferred to get the Drow kill, but they'll settle for the IO there.
The problem I do see here, I've seen this a couple of times before, is that RTK did have to skill Gush for First Blood.
Yes.
And while First Blood is an amazing boon to your early game, Gush first on Tide is so bad that I almost would argue that it's not worth it. But it's close. We're going to see Double Shackle come out. RTK going to be going down no matter what he skills.
I mean, I was going to say, that's the thing there. Without the Anchor Smash or the Kraken Shell, you could kill the Tide just like that. But a 1-for-1 is still, you are getting the first blood. Look at this Wind Ranger. Absolutely no chill from Faith Beyond, goes straight in on the Tinker.
Yeah, you get the first blood bounty, you get the 2 bounty runes, so you definitely got the better economy behind yourself, but as far as that gust skill, we're going to see if RTK can hit 2 quickly enough.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got to get that too.
No problem at all, but I have seen Tides get shut down so hard that they're for 4 whole minutes they're sitting on level 1 Gush, and that's a real problem.
Yeah, I'm sure Wings will just try and abuse this as much as they can.
Sniped as well. Beyond coming in, the offlane Wind Ranger not only setting up a 2-man shackle for the level 1 clash, but sniping a courier and pressuring CTY heavily. Oh man, this is a lot more than they bargained for when this Wind Ranger came out.
Absolutely, yeah. This is not where we thought the Wind Ranger would be at the start, just hanging around with the DK. But elsewhere, the lanes, IOs decided to sit bottom with the Drought. ROTK, looks like he's going to have his lucky day. It looks like he should find level 2, a couple more creeps. I'm trying to position in a way that's not allowed him to get in a mid lane. CTY getting away with a solo kill onto the DK. That really shouldn't happen, should it?
No, I mean, if you've played against Tinker recently, you know how much damage the spells put out, and getting greedy like that is quite unfortunate. I think that he assumed that he was going to get just a little bit. He's going to survive by like 10 HP, and then
Yeah, it must have been close.
He must have just been like, okay, well, I have just barely enough, and pure damage, magical damage, some DK goes down. That's very, very unfortunate here.
Yeah, so we can see Tide, he did manage to get over that initial hurdle and get himself to level 2. Has it now in Kraken Shell. Coming in, trying for the harassment, and of course, yeah, with the Kraken Shell, RTK's fine. Still got 5 tangos and a salve, so he's come to the lane. Certainly well prepared for any kind of beatdown that Wings want to be giving him. And obviously now in the other off lane, Faith Beyond, he is yet to hit level 2 himself, and while we talked about the importance of the ties level 2, kind of equally so for the Wind Ranger. She will need that Wind Run to help keep her safe in this off lane.
Absolutely. It's a little bit cheaper mana cost, so
yeah.
you might be able to use it in a tight spot, but Wind Run is very, very important here, and he finally does pick that up. So it's a 14-second cooldown, something that it's going to be hard to continuously pressure, but if you have Glimpse and Kinetic Field, as well as the range, on the Wind Ranger, you should still be able to kill her in spite of the Wind Run, and Burning's got a pretty good flank for it.
Yeah, looks like a little bit hesitant in moving for that one. Now Burning's coming around for another angle. This, I mean, Faith Beyond's going very, very deep. And they'll be ready to punish it. Shackle holding Burning back, but they still get the glimpse off into the magic missile. Wind Runs run out, and this should be another killing team for VG Gaming, and it is. Yeah, Faith Beyond just getting a little bit too aggressive there on the Wind Ranger, and they're quick with the punishment.
Yeah, and this is something you really expect in the context of the 1v3 matchup. The Disruptor is really good at position control, and will be able to counteract that Wind Run completely. So from there, you're just going to see the Wind Ranger continue to fight it out, but try to survive and try to prevent pulls as well. As you can see, he's going to get 5 creeps, so he's going to get his experience up level 3 and beyond. And that's, yeah. And combine that with the courier snipe he got earlier, as well as a little bit of mid-pressure. Oh, yeah. He's doing enough for the laning stage, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about, well, the lanes as a whole. Mid lane, the matchup, CTY, slight edge at the moment, 14 for 5 against the 11 for 3. And obviously the fact that he did get that kill as well, popping him ahead on top of the first blood. So, you know, he's still in a good position on this Tinker. And it's going to be interesting, of course, one hero that we've not really seen do anything as of yet, to see what the Chen can achieve. Ice, he's found himself that level 3. He does have a Centaur and a Troll Summoner, so he's ready to make something happen. And here we have it with the smoke. Looks like they're going to make a beeline for top and try and get a catch out here, but I kind of feel this is going to be a bit of a hard play for the man. Because there's 3 heroes up there.
This is a very complex arrangement here. You got a potential for the shackle shot. He actually has a leveled shackle shot. It's 2.25 seconds, and he has at least the 2 creeps to work with. He doesn't battle persuade, but it's still like you're practically tower diving to get in this position. You definitely will catch some off guard, but will it be enough?
HYM. Yeah, here's the wraparound now. HYM, he is almost suddenly going to get caught out by the initial troll trap. Do they have the follow-up damage with the stun? Nearly, it's close. Yeah, they've done it. So it will be a successful rotation. But yeah, quite a risky one it seems, as Wings did wrap around very, very deeply there with Ice.
Yeah, it looks like they were fortunate that Burning was nowhere nearby either, or that might not have been as successful. But yeah, he was kind of rotating to try to do something about this DK in mid. Bottled up the rune, got the illusion, and we're actually seeing the illusions get lasered. So CTY putting out some hate here, but end of the day, yeah.
Oh, look at this! Look top! Ice just hid behind a tree. He's gonna kill him again! Oh, what? Ice! That's a little bit ridiculous. He just waited for the disruptor to TP back, and I mean they had a ward here.
Yeah, if the disruptor didn't have boots, that wouldn't be much of a surprise. They're actually going to be able to at least turn it here and bring Ice down, but in the process, he's gotten so much done, and he's kind of forced a lot of mana out of the Tinker that he can't put into the DK. So DK is going to have just a free lane to continue to build his CS advantage. He's slightly leading now with the Quelling Blade, but without a mana Tinker, he's going to absolutely trounce the remainder of this laning phase here in mid. So yeah, Ice already getting a lot of work done. Wisp dropping really low in the jungling process, but now just using that vacant health pool to heal up Shadow and to stay active here. In the meantime, RTK, he's stacking Ancients, which is good for his long-term investments, but finally finding himself level 4, which is important because now he's got 1/1/2 in the Iron Talon and is finding a decent progression.
Yeah, we can see down here on the bottom, Shadow is putting the pressure onto the tower, forcing ROTK back. And up top, And the other offlaner, Faith Bian, obviously with the help that the Chen's added, you know, coming up to disrupt the lane. Is now reaching on to level 6. And it's finding a bit of CS here as well. Certainly a lot more than RTK on his Tidis.
So we're going to be seeing some rotations here. Actually, Sylar going out. You used to see this like around like the TI6 era with Gyrocopter very commonly, and Chinese teams copy that quite a bit. Coming in with the shapeshift, this is something new, and it should be very effective. He doesn't get the gust off, critting down the Drow Ranger. That is going to be Sylar getting a huge one-up here on to Shadow. I mean, again, this is something that you would see for like a team fighting carry, but Lycan is usually considered a pushing one that avoids fights and kind of does his own thing. So seeing it here not only has a huge amount of surprise factor, but is going to enable them to really start putting pressure out on this side of the map.
On this Chen.
This Chen is doing so much work.
Just like that, you know, take the gun. Look at this as well, Chen. He don't need no auras or anything. He's just going to go for the straight Aghanims this game. He's picked up a point boost to 7.5 minutes in.
So that will allow them to pick up a Ancient Creep, presumably the Ancient Black Dragon. And you can, of course, use the Drow Aura to help that out a little bit. But in the meantime, yeah, they are putting pressure on mid, corroding that down quickly. And the Tide is obviously not 6. He's not going to be able to respond at all. In the meantime, Faith Beyond up top is just going to try to bring down HYM, but too many hits from that focus fire with the Drow Aura helping him out, and that's going to be another freebie. They're pressuring the mid lane and the top lane simultaneously to great effect. Yeah,
and they're going to get the mid one for sure, with the Elder Dragon form and the push from the Chen. That's one tier 1 for the side of Wings, and as you said, top, a little bit of damage has been done as well, so bottom, see how they want to go in. Drow, ready in position, level 7. Really dishing out the damage now. 163 right click, 8 minutes in, and I mean this really could all go to plan. If this Chen gets an early Aghanims, it's you're getting those ancient creeps and the pushing power that Wings already have. It really could be unstoppable.
Yeah, the big thing is that Tinker can't do anything about it. Like the Anchor Smash still affects it. Wave of Terror is pretty good against it, but end of the day, just one big Ancient Creep, you're going to be able to push Tier 2 towers a lot earlier than you normally would be able to, and a lot faster as well. So I really do think that this is a very unique take on the hero, but it creates a lot of potential value. You have to remember, there is a restriction here. You can only possess 1 Ancient Creep per rank of Hand of God you have. So you don't
so you're still waiting on the
3 or 4 Ancient Creeps. You do have to build yourself up there, but even just 1 will make a huge difference.
Oh, yeah, really well in a game like this. And it's going to be interesting to see what the others build. I mean, so Blink, he's picked up the Buckler. So is this going to be the mech DK?
Yeah.
Just to offer the push.
All the double heal value.
Yeah.
The double heal with the tether is going to be insanely good. And of course, the Hand of God is just a very natural synergy. So essentially, they want to just make themselves as tanky as possible. And
look at this. Faith Beyond, offline Wind Ranger. Midas, first item.
That one, I
all over the place.
I've been saying about Wings up to this point, I've been like, this is unique and different, but it's really cool and could be really effective. That's kind of a statement that stands out for all of Wings drafting and general strategy. But now you're pushing it beyond. Going for Midas Wind Ranger in this context. It's a good timing, but like you're a tempo lineup. You want to build momentum, and right now you're taking half of an Aghanim Scepter and putting it into pocket change?
This is an interesting one.
It definitely is interesting. I will absolutely give him that.
If this works out, it's going to be quite something.
I will absolutely disagree with the decision that Aghanim Scepter or progression towards Ags is way better, but it's a good timing, and they're still keeping their quotas up in terms of push.
No, the questions be what the...
Sylar actually in the wrong part of town here. Mud Golem stun, as well as the Net and the Centaur stun. That's going to be just a straight kill.
So much control from this Chen. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it's 800 gold away from an Aghanim Scepter. This is going to be one of the quickest Ags I've seen in a Chen for a long time. And a Chen as well that's, he's not just been sitting in the jungle. This has been an incredibly active Chen.
Midas delayed just 30 or so seconds, but if the courier got sniped by the wolves, could you imagine?
Yeah, that would have been pretty nasty. Actually, look at this wraparound. Vici maybe trying to find more. See if they can. Looking for the IO. Tethers across. Looks like he is just going to be fine. The wolves are chomping away. The Rockets bringing him incredibly low, but he will still survive here. DK able to take the walls off his back.
Dire's middle
Level
tower
1
is under attack.
music miss is not going to be doing too much, but
Yeah.
it's definitely the right build here as you're trying to counter push, but you're also trying to blind these hard right clickers. BOT is already up for Tinker, and the Soul Ring Bottle as well, so probably just going to go for the Blink next, and then either Ether or straight into Axe. Either way, he's got to find a way to counter push as well as deal with all this hard right click in terms of a threat. Maybe that's why Beyond wants to go for the Midas, is not only because it's before the 12-minute mark, but because he's not just thinking about the Aghanims, he's thinking about what happens after the Aghanims, and probably that means MKB. You get Aghanims, MKB, you don't have to worry about the laser at all, and you're just guaranteed to put out a huge amount of damage.
Oh, what were we looking at on the Drow? Yeah, okay, so the helm is now complete for the Drow Ranger.
More creeps to
I was going to say, is that the
disable.
plan? Is that why we're getting the helmet? I guess it is.
Yeah, I mean, you're not like up against Earthshaker or Legion or something, so more creeps the better. And they're going to be taking one of these into the pit and trying to take on the Roche right quick.
Yeah, and this is going to be a quick one as well. The Elder Dragon tethered up. Vici Gaming not in a position to head over. So this is going to be a freebie, this 12-minute rush. And that, I mean, that's probably going to put the champ very, very close to having that Axe finished with the Roche goal.
Really surprised Innocence didn't just tether earned Centaur. You can actually keep that thing alive for the whole duration, but it's actually going to be burning, just picked up. This is poor little bit, just trying to scout things out. But actually, the power shot won't finish him off. It's going to be one more right click to do so. Just trying to get tabs on what's going on in this part of town, and turns out it's the worst thing you could fear. Roshan gone, Ancient stolen, and burning in the grave.
This is looking like such a good game here at the moment for the side of Wings. 5k lead. They're hitting this massive peak very, very quickly, and Ice indeed just less than 200 gold away from finishing off the Aghanims. And then we're really going to see the push come into play from Wings. And the question is just what can Vici do to stop it? It's CT-wise March spam, Ravages. They do have potential.
Radiant's top tower is under
We looked
attack.
at the Drow Ranger build isn't too gimmicky. Shadow actually just kind of took the Circlets and turned it into Wand and Aquila, but from there he's going to be going for the Dragonlance with the Dominator. Very, very tried and true for just great effective HP and a great stat line. So yeah, he's going to be here just farming up some Ancients for himself and stacking up to try to find the good one. That's the big thing, is if you're getting the Aghanims, you better get the creep you want.
Yes.
It's a huge investment to get like one of the lesser Ancients. There's all of them have some good value, but I think a ranged one with the Precision Aura has a unique potential.
Let's see what they get here. It's just
He goes for the multi-melee one. He goes for the HP Aura, and while that is really good at fighting into Ravage as well as the AoE from Disruptor and Tinker, it does mean that they'll rely on damage from the other three. Luckily, their cores already output quite a bit.
Right, I mean, with this, do they then go for the 5-man push? Are they on that much of a time until Wings really need to try and force the issue?
There's definitely no reason not to.
Yeah,
I mean, they're at a huge peak.
Yeah.
Suddenly picking up a Granite Golem, suddenly having a mechanism with the Wisp to help out. There's absolutely no reason to wait. They have an Aegis even. Like, this is absolutely the time to push top tier 2.
Yeah, just as about the same time that Shadow's going to be hitting the level 11 on the Drow as well, so the push going to be increasing even more for the side. So
Who'd they give the Tome to, by the way? I feel like Drow Tome is actually a very underrated. Drow is
Do you
one of the
reckon?
most experience-dependent heroes up
Yeah.
to level 16.
yeah, getting him up to the 16 for sure. Yeah, it gives so much to the whole team. Yeah, I could certainly see that happening.
And Ice brings in the army here. Nothing special. Satyr and Troll gonna do some heavy lifting, but it's gonna be that Granite Golem that all eyes are on. Already popping the Red Dragon form on tier 2. I don't think that was necessary, and we'll see if the timer comes into play. But they are gonna try to push into tier 3s, and we're gonna see the Tinker try to repel it. It's the no pipe setup, but they do have the mech, and that Granite Golem doesn't give a damn.
Oh, look at this guy, Wings, not caring at all about this defense, and fortification is now used. 16 minutes in, the opening is there
Blink.
to go in for more. What can they achieve here?
RTK just got the Blink Dagger. This could be a good opportunity to surprise them, but they need everybody here. Lycan split pushing a little bit too far. Oh, the glimpse play that we saw Mikasa's downfall earlier.
Still Innocence, just keeping Blink safe. I've now lost the Elder Dragon form, so maybe this will be Wings holding back, and they're being chased down. Innocence getting put fairly low.
Oh, nice Ravage from
Oh
ROTK.
man. And this is the D push that they need. They need this huge initiation. They need to find the follow-up kills though. Blink's still trying to stick around. They're turning back towards Silence. A buyback from the Iron. They've taken down the Lycan. Now the rest of VG have to run back. And off the back of what seemed to be a brilliant Ravage, they're losing heroes left, right, center. The swap will be there to keep ROTK alive, but he still goes down as they find the power shot through. And 3 now dead. It's up to the Tinker and the Disruptors to hold the high ground. The Wolves are trying their best to clear the waves out. But yeah, 3-for-1 exchange. Again, Wings played that perfectly around, or, as we said, looks to be a fantastic Ravage.
Yeah, and that's all about the Dragonite mechanism. There's
He's
no
so
way
tanky.
a Wisp would have a mech at this stage of the game, but the DK has it for his team, and it negates the Ravage's damage entirely. Now going in with a second round of Dragon Form. One good thing about using it early is you get it off cooldown that much quicker, and they go for the rebuttal. They go and take a full top laner Rax at 17 minutes. And this is what the lineup's looking to accomplish in a very interesting fashion. But while the road is unique and less traveled, the destination is exactly what they had their sights on.
Yeah, this is just really great stuff from Wings, and it's she said the plan absolutely going to the way they were hoping at the moment, and they're ready to go for more. Straight up onto the tier 3. What are you going to do this time around? There's no Ravage for a full minute. Even without, they weren't able to hold successfully. I mean, if they end up losing a second set of racks 18 minutes in, it's pretty disastrous for Vici Gaming, who just don't really have the best of tools to push back the stronger creeps at this early on in a game.
What does this glimpse matter? The DK just gets Test of Faith home, nothing to purge it off, and Lycan will try to get at least 1 kill out of this. Chibi is unavailable on Drow, so could be run down a bit, but luckily for her, the Lycan doesn't have any control.
Yeah, Shackle to hold back the dog, and yeah, Wings safely back out.
Oh, Wind Ranger caught out here, doesn't really have the items to take through this all. Hand of God will help, but it looks like he's still going to go down. Another great Shackle, but they need to just disengage fully.
And they get the kill on the side, and they're buying back. You know, they know that they've got to go all in at this point.
Do they? I feel like this is just over-aggression, but at the same time,
This is
the Midas Shadowblade Wind Ranger. What the hell do I know about Dota right now?
30 seconds of outside. You know the static storm's gone. There's no shapeshift on the Lycan. You know you've got to push your advantage at this point, and Wings, with this kind of they've got a perfect plan. They know exactly what needs to be done, and they realize this is what you got to do. Elder Dragon forms back. You need to use it immediately. What are Vici Gaming going to be able to do to stop this?
Yeah, not too much right now. No Cliff. Tide finally coming in, but Mechanism keeps them up to full HP, and that's at least a third Rax, if not going for 4th. HYM won't live to see another fight. This is going to be a Ravage without a Disruptor, and it might just not be effective enough.
And that's the thing, so even if you lose the Wind Ranger here, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a dieback. You've already taken a second melee Rax at 19 minutes in, and you've still got tier 1s in 2 lanes and tier 2s in all of them. So it's not like they're going to be able to do a lot whilst that Wind Ranger's down for the extended death timer. This is just Wings going all out, and at this point, it's going to require a fairly big throw from Wings, I feel, for Vici to get back in.
I mean, yeah, I can make the argument that the buyback wasn't necessary at this stage because Wings are always so far ahead. But you'll trade a buyback for a Rax any day. You do that 6 times, the game is over. So
look at this. So, Shadowblade now on the Wind Range.
Yeah, that's what I said. He
and
bought
Axe on Drow.
Bought a Shadowblade.
That's right. Okay.
I was like, okay, well, the Beyond has his own ideas about this wonderful game called Dota 2, and who am I to question at this point? They are absolutely on a tear. They have so much tempo behind them, and they've just reinforced this so well with the healing that they've been able to get through the Wisp, the Chen, the Mech, and of course a natural synergy in this precision aura across the team.
Just little things like this as well. Yeah, Chen with the Vlad stun. You know, their push and their fight is so strong, and I don't know what VG Gaming is going to do. I don't think VG Gaming know what they're going to do. I don't think they even expected to go against this. They don't even know what this is. It's just really quite something.
Looks like it's going to be a jump down bottom here. No blink initiation or even any tools for mobility, but it'll be enough to scare off Vici Gaming from the bottom lane. In the meantime, look who's in mid. Wind Ranger's just looking for a shackle pick.
I guess so. Just seeing if anyone comes back to farm this way, clear it out, and might be looking for CTY. I mean, if you find CTY, he should have the damage to kill it.
Oh no, the creeps on the base. He's going to focus fire down the range. No, he will take down CTY first. Going to take a lot of damage from the Martian machines, but the glimpse, HYM, oh, doesn't have detection. The sentry ward comes too late.
Oh, and Innocent's coming in with a relocate as well to save him. I mean, just... And space created for bottom whilst this is all going on top and they're drawing Vici gaming away. The army's coming in on the bottom lane.
What a head scratch.
This
man.
is...
Like, how do you even think to play around this?
Buyback from CTY, but see what he can do.
And the third time DK gets glimpsed under tower is only to say, I really don't care. He's going to be taking some hits, but he's got the wand, the mech. Is it going to be enough to save him, though?
See, Innocence gets the tether off again. Yeah, they just can't kill this man. Ravage comes through, but it only gets the Drow Ranger. Shadow
That's
falling low. Yeah, he's going back. He's going back home.
Oh my goodness. So they taken... Oh, they haven't taken the melee Rex yet. Go, Cardi, go. One more hit, 1 HP, and there
we go. Ranged Drax to fall on the mid.
Oh my goodness. This is just impossible now. Vici, they'll march, they'll try what they can.
And Wings can get Drow. Wings can get Aegis now as well. They just get it again.
Sure enough.
Yeah.
No problem at all. I mean, just the distance that they're able to keep with the Dragon Lances, like, we've talked about their ability to gap close on the Drow. Drow hasn't been the point of focus for the past 12 minutes. It's been all about this Wind Ranger who's just been playing so aggressively that it creates this natural space for the Drow. He's not their prioritized target. It's the balls to the walls play coming up from this Wind Ranger.
And there we have it. What are they going to do to stop it? What are they going to do to stop it? Tier 3's falling, burning, getting beat down upon by this granite golem. And there we have it. Silas come in, but they're ready to fight. See if they're able to take this man down. RTK's silenced up, and they've taken down the dogs. Silas to fall. Vici Gaming, just 4 men left to defend this man. Well, soon to be 3 is burning. Swaps out the tide, ends up going down. And yeah, this is going to be mega creeps for sure. It really is a GG. It's all over. The Wings Gaming. Or is it because I think this is one of the reasons why people rated Wings Gaming so high, because they could just come out with performances like this, and it just you just do not expect it. You do not understand.
Yeah, it is mind-boggling. It is the strategy behind it, the item progression. Like, they had such a unique take on this game. You could see a dozen other teams play this exact same draft, and they in no way would be finding the exact same timings on any of these items. Ags rushing on the Chen, already unique enough. The fact that Ice was at level 3 and 4, ganking, diving past the tier 1 tower on the enemy's safe lane, and killing their supports, assassinating them. I mean, these things are ridiculous, and you just, when you face Wings, you don't really know what to expect. They're playing Warlock Luna, they're playing tower diving Chen, they're building Midas Shadowblade and Wind Ranger. Like, these guys have just so much potential in their versatility and their variability in play that you really just can't predict anything. And now Wings Gaming looking really, really strong here, closing out the first day of the International 6 Chinese qualifier with a 4-1 scoreline. IG looking pretty good right now, but I don't know if that will hold. I think that Wings are going to be at least in the tiebreaker.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Definitely, yeah. IG got to be careful about dropping a game, because Wings are going to be very, very hot on their heels. Absolutely. But, yeah, Wings Gaming there, ladies and gentlemen, giving us something, again, a little bit different. And, yeah, Vici Gaming just did not look prepared for it at all. But that is it for Chinese games, at least covered by myself and Play today. I believe we're doing some more tomorrow, aren't we?
Yes,
we've got some more Chinese action tomorrow that we'll be covering, and there may also be other heats going on at the moment. I believe you can find those on other channels. They're not covered by BTS.
Yeah, we've got Euro Dota on 4, 5,
Euro
and
Dota.
6.
Yes, lots of European Dota here. There are other streams, of course, for the rest of the Chinese games. But that's it from us today on China. We'll see you guys tomorrow. So stay tuned for some more Chinese regional qualifier actions for TI6 coming right your way tomorrow.